All right. Well, I just wanted to welcome everybody back. We have, this is the first time that we've had sort of like an early special guest in our show. So we have Kirby Preuss here from Preuss Pets, who has our background contest winners and some special guests with us today. So thank you for joining us, Kirby. We appreciate you taking the time.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Yes. Yeah, right. Exactly. So do you want to introduce us to your friends, your guests that you have today?
So these ones are a little special because these ones actually live with me and also are going to be part of our education team when things lift a bit in the future. Right now we're not doing any educational stuff out in schools or anything, obviously, but this is Susie, the ferret. Susie.
Hi, Susie.
And then this is, surprise guest, Wendell, her new brother. Wendell has a really good story behind him, let me tell you. Susie and Wendell.
Nice. That is so cool. So who had the next question?
I think it was you, Alex.
Oh, what is my first question? I lost my papers. I was so excited. There were two ferrets instead of one, and I got all flustered. So
I could talk about these guys for days. So let me know what you want to know. But they.
All right. Yes. All right. Here we go. So just tell us about Susie and Wendell. What are they like? How'd they get to you?
They're polar opposites, actually, in a lot of ways. Wendell is about as feisty as they come, as you can tell here. He's ready to run and romp and play at the park like he does. And then Susie is ready to probably take a nap. She'll probably yawn during this video. She's much more laid back than Wendell. The thing with ferrets, I call them furry piranhas. They are definitely not a pet for most. It takes a very special person and family dynamic. They can get quite feisty. Their skin is 3 times as thick as human skin, so they don't realize when they bite down what it feels like to us. So yeah, they're really unique. And Wendell, I should mention, is actually quite a story. He almost did not survive last week. He actually was adopted by a family, got into some rat poison. That's the thing with ferrets. You have to be so careful because they can squeeze into anything. They're little weasels. So with Preuss, we're really big into vet care. So I had him rush him to the vet. He survived. He pulled through. And now he's part of my family. So yes, he's a little rescue situation.
He's a survivor.
Right.
Survivor, yes. Yeah.
So you mentioned that they, ferrets can like get anywhere and do anything. And what are some of Susie and some of Wendell's favorite things to do or favorite places to like go to?
Yeah, so if you want some free edging along your sidewalk at your house, ferrets are the ones. They love to dig. They became common pets in the 80s, but they were domesticated 2,500 years ago, and they actually first were used to go and hunt rabbits and rodents. So they're really big at burrowing and digging and trying to find things. Yesterday when Susie was edging, as I call it, along the sidewalk, she found a worm. That was exciting. But they also, they go on bike rides. They have a little ferret backpack and they go on the bike when the weather is appropriate. So that's fun. They love to play hide and go seek in the house. Ferrets are way more intelligent than I ever knew. And yeah, they're pretty smart. You can kind of train them like a dog, actually. So pretty interesting.
That's so impressive. Yeah, I never knew that that they were that smart and that they could be trained. And that was kind of another piece of what we were hoping to find out from you is like, what is it like to train a ferret, and like, can they do any cool tricks, and what's it like to raise them as a pet?
Yeah, so Susie, for example, is and they're both babies. They're still pretty young and they're pretty new. So Susie's only about 5 what is she? She's 6 months, and Wendell's only 4 months. So they're babies. And Susie's just learning to come by her name. So done a lot of cues out in big fields where Susie will come, you call her, and then you just give her lots of positive reinforcement and praise when she comes, similar to dog training. And Wendell, he's still a bit young yet, but we will train him over time. He's very food motivated. I'll tell you that much like me.
Right. I think that, yeah, ferrets are not
All of us.
so dissimilar from us. Yes, we're all very food motivated.
Yeah.
What do ferrets like to eat?
Well, discovered that Susie, you shouldn't feed these to your ferrets, but I discovered Susie loves tacos. They're carnivores, so she loves beef. Had a taco, she ran over, grabbed it out of my hand, ripped half the taco off, and ran away with it. Ferret actually translates to, I believe it's little thief. But they don't, their natural diet is not tacos like mine. Their diet consists of, they eat a pelleted mix. It's a carnivore diet. When they're little kits or little ferrets, so not long ago actually, they were eating a wet food mixture, similar to like a canned cat food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Did you see her yawn?
Oh, well, I think we found our highest rated show, guys. I think this is this is pretty exciting. And I feel like I'm learning a lot too, because I had no idea. So when you say that you like let them out in the field, they just go out and run and they'll come back to you?
Well, not quite.
Okay.
They're learning. You definitely have to be on top of safety. It's like having a toddler that never ends. So you have to always watch where they're going. And also, if you're taking them outside, a couple things you have to be careful of are pesticide usage. So we're careful what fields we take them to. And also hawks. You have to watch out for birds flying overhead. Would not fare well for Wendy and Susie if a hawk swooped overhead and saw a little snack. So
Right.
Yeah.
That is a good tip. Well, thank you so much, Corbet, for taking the time to talk with us and bring on. This is our first like live animal demo that we have. And we know you have so many cool animals at Preuss. We just wanted to give you a chance if there's anything that, I know that, obviously everybody's had to change the way they do business because of COVID. But just wanted to see if there's anything that you wanted to share about what you guys are still doing to reach out to your customers. And you guys are sort of a fixture here in our local community. So what kind of things do you guys have going on at Preuss these days?
Yeah, so COVID has been a challenge for small business owners, that's for sure. I don't think I slept very well the first month and a half. It's our livelihood. It's what we do. It's what we love. And we actually shut down for the first month of operations because knowing that we're such a tourist destination, we wanted to do what was safest. And we knew people were going to try to come out. And so we just shut operations. And we also halted any animal adoptions for about a month and a half because the human-animal bond is so strong and you have to have connection with your pet. In order to do that, we want to be person to person, So now that we are doing adoptions again, we've set up a way that you can book an appointment and have your adoption in our classroom. And we're actually loving it because it's very personalized and it's going really well. So we are requiring masks for all of our staff as well as all of our customers, and we will continue to do that for a while here. But I just want to remind everybody that when you support local for your pet essentials, you leave about 68% of that dollar in your community as opposed to online. And so it's really important to support your local brick and mortars. So, yeah.
Agreed. Go to Preuss. They're awesome. I think we were talking a little bit before you jumped on, Corbet, about just Megan had shared, a really fun story about just I don't know if you want to share it, Megan. It was just a really cool story about
Yeah.
about Prus.
So I actually live like, I don't know, about 40 minutes from Small Talk and from Prus. And a couple years back, I was a nanny. And there was one day where the kid that I was nannying, we had nothing to do. So we decided just let's go take a trip to the pet store. And so we drove out to Prus. He had never been before. We spent probably a good hour and a half just like walking around and looking at the birds and the lizards and the fish. And like, it's just such a cool destination. And it's not really, you know, a pet store. It feels like it's almost like, I mean, it's nothing like I've ever experienced before. It's awesome to be able to go somewhere and interact with so many different kinds of animals. And it's just a really cool place to get to go.
Aw, well, thanks for coming in. Yeah, I kind of chuckle because when I go to do a search for places to take kids in Lansing, Prus always comes up as one of the top 3. So I always try to do everything I can to make it kid friendly and, you know, try to, yeah. And my parents have done just such a phenomenal job designing a store that caters to people who want to come in and just look around. And we know we get a lot of people that come in and just want to enjoy the culture and the ambiance that is Prus Pets. So thanks for coming.
Yes, no, it is the greatest pet store. I can say that with full confidence. I feel very strongly about that. It is such a cool place to go. And I think, you know, for any of our watchers and listeners, if they haven't been, you know, definitely, especially once things kind of clear up and we're able to, you know, roam more freely around our community, Prus is, you have to check it out. It's such a cool place to go. And, you know, I guess we didn't, you know, Kirby, you know, you especially, and, you know, your whole store has been really supportive of Small Talk. When we had Preston, our canine advocate, you guys were really supportive of him, and he would come in once a month and pick up some toys and some food. And, you know, and you guys have done fundraisers for us. So, you know, we, you know, just as on behalf of all of us at Small Talk and all the kids we serve, we just want to thank you too for your support and, you know, being you know, huge advocates for us in the community as well. So it's only right we return the favor and talk about how great you guys are too, because you've done that for us for a long time. So
Of course. And you know we always will support you guys because I hold a very special, near and dear place in my heart personally to Small Talk. So thank you guys so much. What you do is so important.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you so much, Kirby, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
These guys are falling asleep.
No, we bored them. Oh no.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thanks. We'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye.